Tell me the journey leading up to you starting your company.
I was definitely the kid that sold everything. For me, I've always been an entrepreneur, but didn't really know that it was called entrepreneurship. I've always kind of been a hustler, and I always wanted to make money. And when I first got to college, I never wanted to ask my mom for money, so I started throwing parties. So it turned into like now I'm throwing parties and making money every week. That's kind of how my entrepreneurship journey started.
Queen of career pivot.
Yeah.
Let's start there.
Yeah. I started my career as a celebrity gossip blogger, and I did that for 7 years. But then on my 7th year, I decided I wanted to do something more purposeful and intentional. I shut down the site, but I call it a transition into xonicole.com, which is a women's lifestyle and empowerment platform. 2 years into running that, I sold it to Will Packer Media. On that 7th year of running that site, I transitioned out and I started My Happy Flow, which is a women's hormones health brand centered around the menstrual and hormone health of women of color.
Tell me a little bit about who Dominic Artis was before Act House.
Yeah, I was always curious, always inquisitive, always loved helping people. So we lived in this apartment complex. Kind of imagined like little rascals, but we were a little bit growner, running around having fun. But then I realized, okay, we always go to this K76. We buy snacks. Like, what could I sell to the squad and all the kids in the community in order to make some money? And that was it.
You had like this aha light bulb moment of like, I've been building like legacy for other people, and I may not have been building it for myself or my family the way I needed to.
I think a lot of us live through this lens that like, got one shot, that's it. When it's over, it's over. So my sister called me, dad's sick, need to get here. I jumped on the first plane. By the time I landed, he had already passed. Seeing him just land in the bed, and it's just like, that's it. It just made me like rethink life. At that point, my legacy was helping build a bunch of people's legacy and their wealth, and I hadn't really focused on my own. So it just changed my perspective and just made me want to just kind of rethink things.
I adore the work that you do. There's a journey leading up to you in that position.
Entrepreneurship has always been a part of my life. I'm the kid that started his first business at 12. I bought my first house when I was 19. I made my first million by the time I was 23. I didn't have good role models, good ambitions, so I went from living in a 10,000 square foot home at 26 to literally living in a 9x9 storage unit at 28. But it was there that I understood this concept of success and significance. By the world standards, I had been really successful, but I had zero significance. I had done nothing to put a dent in this world. When I started choosing significance, everything started to change. Within 3 years, I was helping to build a $50 million nonprofit in 10 countries.
You are a mother of 5 amazing kids, and then also married to 2-time NBA champion Ray Allen. We're gonna dive into the reason why you founded Grown.
Every single person in my mom's family owned a small business. The reason was because my grandfather was the commissioner of minority small business for the state of Connecticut. His name's Francis J. Silva, may he rest in peace. The set-aside programs that my grandfather built in the state are actually still being used today. The example that he set as a black man in America with no college education to have such a massive position for the state kind of always allow me to dream about what it would be like to kind of have my own thing.
How did you come to Black Ambition? What was that process like?
It came from a few conversations that led to his chief of staff asking me to come run the company, mostly because I was telling them all the things that they weren't doing right. But then also came to realize the power of like relationships and connections and access that our communities aren't afforded, and being at a level in which it's important to be able to provide those opportunities to others is really what Black Ambition encompasses now.